Greetings, Wastelanders. Cregen here with another Fallout 76 video. Today, we're going to talk about caps, the Fallout universe's version of in-game currency, and how you can go about earning as much as you can in as little time as possible. But first, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to click that like button to not only have YouTube suggest additional content like this in your feed, but also for other users as well. And to stay on top of new content and live streams, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon as well. I've been noticing a common topic on Reddit and Facebook lately, and that's new players looking for advice on how to earn caps as quickly and efficiently as possible. Well, folks, I'm here today with a list of my favorite ways to make money in-game without having to sacrifice too much time into the grind. I'm going to break these down into three methods: passive income, which requires you to simply sell a constantly regenerating item; active income, which requires you to hunt down and collect items to sell; and player sales, which is a hybrid approach to active income, but with a narrower focus and no daily cap limit. So first up, passive income. There's a few methods you can use, but the most popular has got to be water purifiers. This involves setting up as many of the large purifiers as you can in either your camp or workshop and selling the water back to vendor bots. If you choose to build in a workshop, you have the benefit of free materials, enough for up to 5 small purifiers before you start using your own, but run the risk of a PvP skirmish. Plus, it's not set up for you when you first log in. If you build them in your camp, the only downside is that a portion of your camp budget will be taken up by the purifiers, and you won't have as much room for decorations. Plus, they're bulky and ugly unless that fits into your camp theme, in which case, cool. Alternatively, you could also plant crops, but the drawback with that is that you aren't able to lock them to prevent theft, and crops have a limit of 1 item per plant versus a stack of 5 waters from a large purifier. The upside is that you won't require power, and most crops are easy to find in the wild, making your startup cost simply 1 fertilizer per crop. Once you've gathered enough water or food, your next step is to raise your charisma as high as you can, equip the perk card Hard Bargain, and take some great mentats to improve vendor pricing. Not only does this lower the price you pay for items purchased from the bot, but also increases the amount they will pay out to you. The limiting factor in all of this are the bots themselves. There's a daily shared cap pool for all of the bots, and once you've sold 1,400 caps worth, you'll need to come back the next day to continue. Not even server hopping will reset. This is a hard limit, and there is currently no way around it. The next category is active income. This requires you to either craft something or farm as much off of enemies as possible. For crafting, the absolute best items are mutation serums. If you're a new player, skip over this option for now, as it's locked behind story content, has a steep upfront cost of 20,000 caps per recipe, 17,500 with charisma perks and great mentats, and requires you to farm flux from either nuked zones or the Scorchbeast Queen. If you've unlocked the ability to purchase items from Modus, head over to White Springs and enter the service entrance door. This is a slightly more direct route to the science wing versus entering via the main bunker entrance. Inside, purchase your recipe, and all you need to do is craft and sell a few serums a day to max out what you can sell to vendors. If you're a lower level and not in any great need of steel, you can sell the weapons picked up off of the Scorched fairly easily. I would recommend running through Morgantown Airport, trigger and complete collision course, and clear out the terminal interior as well. Don't break down the weapons, simply run across the road to the train station and turn them in for a few caps per item. I'll admit it's not very efficient given that you'll quickly become over-encumbered, but it's a quick run with a good drop rate. Finally, let's talk about player sales. This is a hybrid approach as it still requires a bit of a grind to hunt down items to sell, but once collected, you can continue to play or head back to the grind while players visit your camp and buy from your vendor. First things first, make sure your camp is visible. If this option is disabled, you'll never appear on the map or the vendor list. As for what to sell, there's a whole myriad of items possible. If you have mutation serums you can't dump on the vendor bots, try selling to other players. I won't give suggested prices as these are always fluctuating. Get it? Flux? Fluctuating? And the economies vary between platforms, but I will say you won't get anywhere near what the bot pays. Ammo and chems also sell fairly well. Pick up everything that drops, and when you swing through your camp, toss the extras in your vendor. I find that 45s, 5.56, 10mm, 5mm, and 50 cal move very well at 1 cap apiece, and players will grab a few thousand rounds from you if you have the stock. Don't craft these to sell, it's not worth the exchange, just sell what you've picked up. Chems like Psycho, Mentats, and others move well at 15 caps each, but Rad-X, Radaway, and Stimpaks are probably best to just dump at a vendor. If you want to craft something all players need, you could open a glue factory. Equestrians, you can relax. All you'll need are water purifiers, corn, mute fruits, and potatoes in order to obtain your ingredients. The veggies are plentiful up at Aaronhold Homestead, and you don't need too many purifiers to keep up with demand, though the excess water could always be sold to bots. Once collected, and don't forget to equip Green Thumb when harvesting, go to a campfire or cooking stove and look under utility for vegetable starch. Make sure you have super duper equipped and craft as many as you can. Once done, go over to any workbench and break down the starch for adhesive. You can either sell that to players for caps or keep some yourself to offset the cost of repairs. The last popular item to sell that I'll cover in this video is selling legendaries for scrip. If you have more than enough scrip and aren't attempting to roll your own god roll weapons, you can turn around and sell them to players instead. Since these are being converted over to scrip anyway, it doesn't matter what the roll is, as the price is based off of the item type and the amount of stars it has. I would recommend trading heavy guns and power armor in for scrip yourself, as these will take up too much inventory weight. But rifles, pipe guns, and other such lighter items should be fine to put in your vendor. Older articles I've read suggest starting prices of around 50 caps for 1 stars, 70 for 2s, and 100 for 3 stars, but again, that's old info, and I hoard scrip anyway. I would check with social media for up-to-date pricing suggestions and set accordingly. Well folks, that does it for today's video. Do you have any tricks you use to make caps quickly? If so, leave a comment below, and if there's enough, I'll make a follow-up video and include your suggestions. If you're watching this tonight as a premiere, stick around. I'll be streaming the 9th episode of The Outer Worlds over on twitch.tv/Cregen Gaming starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Cregen, and I hope to see you all in the next video.